Reduce, reuse, and recycle are such simple terms, but the complexity that they encompass is enormous. Given the Earth's growing population and society's desire to accumulate material goods, many experts believe that our planet is headed towards complete destruction. Dear Chairperson, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow 4-H members, reduce, reuse, and recycle need to become a fundamental part of our daily lives. Did you know that every year 2.12 billion tons of waste are dumped? If we were to load all this onto trucks, they would wrap around the Earth 24 times. So what can we do to reduce the amount of harmful materials we use? It all starts with being industrious and committed. Being complacent does nothing to help reduce. For example, while shopping in your local grocery store, instead of putting your vegetables in a plastic bag that the store provides, bring your own cloth or paper bag instead. Or better yet, plant your own garden at home. Another simple action you can do is extending the lifetime of an object. Is your mattress getting a bit tatty? I bet you can make it last longer. There is said to be around 100 mattresses brought to the recycling depot in Salmon Arm each week. Another simple action that goes a long way is reducing your consumption of plastic straws in restaurants or fast food places. It is a huge problem in Canada that every day 57 million straws are thrown away. Seeing as plastic straws are not recyclable, that is one of the biggest problems about recycling. Simple action you can do to help with that at a restaurant or fast food place is as simple as asking for no straw. Fortunately, many restaurants have stopped giving out plastic straws with their drinks, and fast food places now sell their own reusable mugs, which I highly suggest you purchase if you'd like to help save our planet. I know that we can do better to reduce if we simply realize that we have the power to make a difference. Understanding what happens to an object after it is recycled can help us remember what is recyclable. First off, all objects are sorted using a very technical machine. They are then bundled and shipped off for recycling. Plastics are washed, shredded, and pelletized to create more plastic materials. Paper is washed, pulped, and pressed to make paper products such as cardboard and cardstock. Metal is shredded, smelted, and rolled into sheets of wires or bars. And glass is washed, crushed, and mixed with sand, limestone, and soda ash. This mixture is then melted and molded to make more bottles or jars. Certain objects have unlimited recyclability, whereas others can only be recycled a number of times. But just because we can recycle something doesn't mean we should. It would be much less wasteful to try to reuse something first. Is your shirt getting too small for you? Give it to a friend or a thrift store. Make it into a rag or even sew it into something new. Or instead of simply recycling your tissue box, there are plenty of neat DIY do-it-yourself crafts that you can do to repurpose it around your house. Reusing is something we can all do very easily. We just need to realize that we can't be picky about the smallest things. Although it's been identified what plastics can and cannot be recycled, it would take too long to list all of them right now, and I'm sure you don't want to refer to a list every time you want to go recycle something. We need to understand which of the 7 plastics can be recycled. Inside the 3 arrows that create the recycling symbol, there will be a number 1 through to 7. Numbers 1, 2, 4, and 5 are all mostly recyclable, whereas numbers 3, 6, and 7 are not. However, the key is to remember that there are always exceptions, and it is our responsibility to understand all of them. This is where the manufacturers play a role. Take, for example, a box of cookies. There's the outer packaging, the sleeve, and the part where the cookie is held. Do you really take your time to look over every part of the packaging for a potentially non-existent symbol? I didn't think so. So, would you be more apt to recycle correctly if the symbol was clearly stated with a set of instructions? For example, on a yogurt cup, if the symbol was clearly stated and it had a note beside it that said rinse and recycle, I'm sure that this would make recycling much easier and much more efficient. Yes, a portion is up to us, making sure we have recycling in our household, purchasing products sold with minimal packaging, and getting our recycling to the curbside or the bottle depot. But our manufacturers cannot just leave us in the dark. And even though us alongside the manufacturers can make a huge difference, we also require the leadership and the commitment from all three levels of government: federal, provincial, and municipal. From providing infrastructure to organizing curb pickup, there is much that our government must do. It is their job to make sure we have the information we need to make a difference, and for them to lead by example in government offices. So now you know that the terms reduce, reuse, and recycle aren't as simple as they sound. Broken down, it means the commitment to make this a better planet, the knowledge and the creativity to be able to repurpose something, and understanding our collective responsibilities in reducing, reusing, and recycling. Committing to these can become your new family projects. Return refundables to the depot and limit your personal purchases so that your family is consuming fewer material goods. And by consuming material goods that only have the recycling plan clearly indicated, will then send a strong message to both manufacturers and government officials. So won't you please join me in spreading the word about reduce, reuse, and recycle to our club, our community, our country, and our world.